Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever.
That was weird. It went twice for me. All right. Welcome, everyone. Truth Table, episode 94. Paul Everton. Oh, I know what's happening. I've got another one going on the sound on. That's what's freaking me out. There's like a little bit of a delay there. So it's going to be a tough show for me. I don't know how everyone feels. I guess I'm going to expand on what it's like to be an empath. It's pretty bad. It's not easy. It's not good. You literally feel other people's pain. Compassion is, feeling bad for someone, but empathy is like you like go through it with them. So one thing about like Facebook, I've hid and unfollowed and blocked companies that show animals suffering. It's one thing I can't deal with. It's or even an animal crying in pain. It's up there with hearing my mother cry. It's just too much. I couldn't do it. So that's basically the premise of the show tonight, is really people who love animals and care about animals. So this is a good show for animal lovers. I'm going to begin with one of my friends, Kiera, who's running a animal Littlefoot animal rescue. Let me just put it up here so you can see it. But they're in dire need of help right now. There's a lot of animals. The rescue is in need of critical supplies, including rabbit food, litter, cat food, and dog food. They also need some, used blankets and towels with stains, that sort of thing. But I will, in the comments on all the channels, I will leave the PayPal if you want to help. They only got 1 day left and they could lose the place. My God, it's just scary. But, if they lose this place, then all the animals will be homeless too. I mean, these animals need help, right? They're being rescued. And they're a licensed wildlife and domestic nonprofit animal rescue in London. And they accept wildlife and pet rescues, just not reptiles. But I'll leave in the comment. My guest tonight is animal healer, animal behavioralist, and also author of Angels Among Us, and another animal lover, just like myself, and probably you too. If you watch me, you probably love animals, I'm guessing. But I'm gonna talk to my guest, Kim. I'm not sure how to say your last name, so I don't want to mess it up. But I think it's Mcelwain. Anyway, I'm so sorry for butchering that in front of everyone. But I also wanted to tell everyone that it's probable that Katy Perry has kissed another girl. You might as well make light of the trauma we're dealing with. In Parliament, Bill C4 had no dissent. So what does that mean? It means to me that we absolutely have nobody in there representing us. Nobody. No dissent. So what does Bill C4 do? It threatens Canadian sovereignty. In light of threats to Canadian sovereignty by the United States, Donald Trump, the Canadian government, and the Canadian politicians will rethink their approach to digital sovereignty. So, this is not a good thing. The second threat is our future. It would undermine one of the mechanisms that make Canada a society, collective political decisions. That's gone now. So, there's so much wrong with it, and it makes me very sad. It makes me just as sad for animals that need help, that need rescued and to be healed and to be what they were intended to be. It's, I also care about what Canadians were and what we're intended to be. And, we're losing everything. We have no more elections. We have no more ability to make any positive changes. The election, what do you call that? The election checks and balances for the elections. I can't remember that agency, but they did nothing. They did nothing, even though there was evidence of a fraudulent election. We had a coup, that's for sure. I definitely know we had a coup. We, the people that are coming into our country are getting more than Canadians that work, that have a job. It was calculated about over $14,000 more doing nothing, just sitting on their ass if they want. It's all up to them. They can do that, and they're getting more than you. This is what I call treason. This is a betrayal of our trust. And now Carney is picking a fight with Israel. Israel took over the Pentagon and Mossad in 2000 and 9/11. They took over. They're behind all the wars based on lies to take over land, and we're helping them. But you see, him wanting to support Gaza as a Palestinian state after it's already been destroyed falls on deaf ears. Now you care? My God, it's insane. And Trump, Doug Ford wants to pick a fight with Trump. He's being tough guy. That's not how you negotiate. He's supposed to be, opposing the liberals. We don't have that anymore. The conservatives, the liberals, the NDP, they're all captured. And, I don't really want to talk about politics. I don't enjoy it. It's not really what the show is about. But, my heart is very heavy. And, for my guest too, her heart is heavy too. And, she's healing animals. Like 432 music is a way of healing people. That's why you're hearing it in the background, because it's like God's tools. Love is one of God's tools, and Kim loves animals. I love animals, except the bad ones. If it, like Solomon could talk to animals, so if we could, if animals could talk to us, we probably wouldn't like cats, I bet. Would you say that's true, Kim?
Actually
Welcome,
have
Kim.
good person. Cats actually have a good personality, but they can be bossy. But the way I look at it is there's really no bad animals. If you see them as bad, it probably come from the human.
Yeah, well, that's 100%, 100%, 100%. Same with bad kids. It's bad schools. It's not bad. The kids aren't bad. It's bad teachers or bad schools, bad curriculum. Bad parenting will create bad kids. And yeah, I'm very depressed. I'm very sad, and I'm sorry I'm sad. I try to be positive in my show, and but this isn't really a positive thing. I mean, we're seeing our country fall, and it's so sad.
And
Animals too.
animals are trying to teach the humans something, as they are the teachers and the healers. It will happen to the animals first, and if it's happening to the animals first, it's happening to you. It's already happening to you, or it's going to happen to you next.
When did you start getting into animal healing, and when did that begin?
What I know is I was always an animal healer, but I didn't really recognize that I was an animal healer until 2018. And that was after my business is called For the Love of Elliot. That was after a black and white bulldog, who was what you would call your soul dog, had passed away. And what I found out then that my Elliot, after he transitioned, I always knew something different was about Elliot. Um,
Mhm.
it's like human. We knew each other's thoughts. He could cry real tears. Uh, and there was no training really whatsoever to Elliot. And what we was doing actually was speaking telepathically back and forth, but I didn't understand that at that time. That's what we were
Mm.
doing. I just knew we could read each other's minds. Well,
Mhm.
to go find out that 20% of the time, as you know, I'm an animal communicator, animal Reiki specialist, animal behavior specialist. So what happened is I had like a spiritual awakening uh, when he left, because it just tore me apart because we were that connected. Um, Elliot came into my life at a time where I was severely depressed because I was in a bad relationship, uh, getting, severely abused mentally and physically. And he helped me through that and gave me the strength to carry on. So when he transitioned, I mean, there was just so many human things about him. I called him like my fourth son. He was extremely intelligent. So what happened when he transitioned, I took it so hard, I went into a spiritual awakening to find out that he was actually an angel in a fursuit. And that happens 20% of the time, where actually angels can come down, their spirit, into a animal and bring you back up, so to speak, in life. And
Hmm.
usually those people that do have that happen are kind of here to do big things for the animals uh, in this lifetime.
Mhm. Yeah, it's strong compassion, you know. But I mean, I've always loved animals since I was a kid. They were like best friends. You know, I had a dog that used to lay by my leg, and I mean, it was so comforting. The blessing I got from for nothing, you know, doing nothing. I didn't have to do anything.
Right.
So,
They are healers. Usually they come into your life at a time when you need them, lots of times, either to either teach you something or to heal you in some sort of way.
yeah, I really believe that because you know, God is very mysterious and made everything for a reason, even plants, you know.
Right.
And how is your mission going though? Like with you have a
Um,
lot of animals at your house. I'm assuming different
yeah,
kinds of animals. Do you have different kinds of animals too?
have four dogs. I have a potbelly pig that lives in the house with me. I have a chinchilla that lives with me and two cats. I did have a parrot that lived with me, another dog, a Great Dane. Uh, I had two horses that didn't live here, but I would go and take care of. Uh, and I'm missing someone. But I did have four more animals that passed within the last couple of years, not willingly either.
If if you like, you can tell us about your book.
My book is about angels. It's called Angels Amongst Us: Love Sent from the Highest Realm. It's a true story of just what I just told you about Elliot, the bulldog that came into my life in 2005, and then how he was actually a real angel.
Hmm.
So
Well,
that's tells about the story of him and I together, and then his transition. He got lung cancer and transitioned in back in 2017.
and you used to be a dairy farmer, correct?
That is correct. I grew up on a dairy farm,
Hmm.
and then I said I would never marry a dairy farmer, but then I ended up, and then I ended up because it was a lot of hard. As a kid, you have to do all that hard work and other kids are out doing stuff and you have to stay home and, help take care of the farm.
Mhm.
But I ended up being a dairy farmer for 18 years. And then I
But,
divorced from him because that was uh, the bad relationship I was in. But
but where
I
you
learned.
live, do you have any like windmills or solar panels? Not solar panels, but you know what I mean, the 5G towers. Do you have any of that near your where you live?
Actually not, because what people's not understanding, which I am trying to teach, uh,
Mhm.
is the ones that are those 5G towers is causing issues. I'm not saying they're not, but the ones that's really causing the issues are the ones that they're loading the skies with.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
actually towers that is causing the towers and the satellites in the sky that's causing more of an issue than your phone.
Yeah, there's a lot of technology being used without any kind of transparency, and they've they've really I really feel helpless for Canada, because we really don't have anyone to stop this or to what do you call it? Like to protect from the bully. Like we don't
Yeah,
have advocates in the right places in these all the agencies, agriculture. I mean, why haven't they said no more glyphosate? We know it's poison, so why is it happening? Like, where is the checks and balance? We know we're not simpletons. Some people understand food. Some people don't want GMO corn, but it's being forced. It's not being labeled. It's like behind your back. It's like a bully system what we have, where they just force, masks on people for no reason, with no benefits, and still they got away with it. We know
it's
the repercussions. They didn't stop the spread, or you know what I mean. They lied about everything, and nobody went to jail. Nobody got held accountable. Now they're just policing traditional values. What the hell? I mean, it's over right now. We don't have the media. They were like counting cases of COVID with faulty PCR test exams, overcycling them, so there's 97% false. So they were scaring everybody for nothing. There's another crime, a crime everywhere: pharmaceutical, media, governmental, uh, local, provincial, federal. No police, no RCMP, no CSIS, no accountability, no judges. They're letting immigrants out of jail so they don't lose their chances for immigration. I mean, I don't like talking about news. I want to give people positive information. You know.
it, that's what's so sad about it is I am here to help the animals, and I want to help the wildlife. I want to help my own animals. I want to help all animals. Uh,
But
and
spraying is out of your control. Like their animals are being sprayed too.
yes, the government, the people, as you know, I'm a targeted individual. I don't know if people knows what that means, uh, but it started from a Facebook comment that I made on Messenger to my son, and since then I've been a targeted individual, where they have actually a high-powered energy weapon on me, my son, and of course the animals. But to be truthful, all 5G cell towers and satellites now are the same thing. So we're all targeted individuals. And with that goes along is all 5G cell towers and the satellites in the sky are energy weapons directed at us, affecting our brains.
Hmm.
And but how it got started is I knew too much about the vaccine because I was just given this information. And so I told my son to please not take the vaccine, uh,
Hmm.
poison, and that had stuff in it to mind control and to make us sicker and to kill our immune systems, basically, and to cause cancer. And I was naive enough to send that over to him on Facebook Messenger, and after that, I become a targeted individual. That was in March of 2020.
So it's been a
But
while.
that I've been targeted, and I still am. That's why I was, and it's, they try to control your mind and body. I
Yep.
mean, I am just now, getting back out there because I was held down. But now I'm ready to tell my story and to stick up for the animals.
And how are your animals doing, through all of this? Because they must
I
be affected by what's happening to you as well.
They actually have killed 4 of my animals. Those are the animals I lost. Being a targeted individual, they kill your animals, and they're trying to kill me also.
Yeah, well, they don't like dissent too much. And they had no dissent with Bill C4. So to me, that's like, it's over. And I'm sorry I'm talking like this. I hate talking like this.
Me
But
too.
who
That's
do
why
we
it's
have to
like,
turn to?
how do because I am an empath like you, but it's stuff that the world must know. It's
Yes,
not just I'm in the United States. No matter where you're at, it's happening globally.
yes, it is. It is. And now Carney's like setting us up against Israel and Trump, like two buffoon fools.
Hmm.
This is not how you talk to your neighbors, your friends, even your enemies. I'm like more like a Putin style. I would like treat my enemy with respect and tell them where I stand, tell them my conditions. I just won't trade with them if they're brutalizing their people or killing their people or hurting their people. Any
Right,
violations of human rights, then I would say, you need to clean up your act and take care of God's children. I know it's not our country, but if you want to succeed and flourish with us, treat your people with respect and dignity.
right.
That's all we have to do. We don't need to make tariffs and all that stuff. Just cut them off. They most countries have their own resources to take care of themselves. They don't really need to ship oil overseas. They don't. Everybody's got oil. Everybody's got diamonds, and everyone is self-sufficient. This need and the shortage is all lies for greed, and greed is not a godly thing.
Eh,
We have a
Yeah,
godless system right now. The New World Order is godless. There's
yep.
no God
And
in
that's who is controlling everybody. And I think you probably know that they're controlling globally.
Yes. Yep.
And that's who's a part of my targeting because I knew stuff that I shouldn't have known.
Yes, I feel exactly the same way when I went and dug into the church and started translating, and I went, "Oh no, it's only someone with a lot of power could do this." But lying to the people about God, that to me is unforgivable. Well, I have to forgive, but you know what I mean. Like
I mean,
going against humanity.
these people are heartless. Like I said, they don't think anything of hurting, men, women, animals.
Hmm.
I mean, almost mean nothing to them.
Oh yeah, yep. Like if I had to kill my own animals to eat meat, I would never eat meat. Simple as that. I can't kill an animal. Anything with eyeballs, looking at me, unless it's a spider with 17 eyeballs. I could kill a spider, but like a deer, or they're just too beautiful for me. Even a cow, like I couldn't do it.
And that's another part of my mission is to save the dairy cow.
Hmm. What do you think about pasteurized milk and that for being forced?
I
Because
am
they do.
vegan. I am
'Cause-
vegan. Now I want to make it known that there's a difference between vegan and this synthetic meat and milk that they're pushing. This
yeah.
synthetic milk and meat is the grossest lab grown gross stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, that's the stuff Bill Gates and everybody is pushing.
Yeah,
Uh,
we have to preserve our animals. We have to preserve our seeds. We have to be like the United States. We have to have a continuity of culture. they have a continuity of government. So, if anything threatens their power, it's really against the people. That should not happen. The people should always be above. And referendums are easy and free. We can go online, sign up on Canada website, and vote. It would cost $0 because they already own the site. They already control the information and what goes on the site. We could have referendums and make it very easy, and I guarantee we wouldn't be participating in any wars ever. I want accountability to the media. They betrayed us. Doctors betrayed us, but doctors are betrayed in their education. They're taught by the bad people, basically. That the petrol chemical.
I think you will find out universities are that way now too.
Mhm. Even with cancer, they actually kill people by, poking at the cancer. The cancer is like it protects the body. It's protecting the cancer. It's the body's way of protecting the body. But as soon as they take a biopsy, they breach that, and then they kill the person. Then it spreads. So knowing that, just like the dentist, they put this little big heavy lead thing on you, and then they hide behind the curtain and press the button, but they don't cover your head. And I said to them, why aren't you covering my head, my brain? You're only covering my chest. What about my brain? That's a little more important than my arms and my, why don't I have a helmet to protect my face, protect my, no. You see, everything has been made as a weapon. It's not made to help us. All the cures are in food. And Michael Angel was on, and he's all about that. He cured his own vision, for God's sakes. These are people we need to listen to.
Yes,
These are people that need to write books like yours,
You actually, and I have cured animals from cancer. A dog that they were ready to take to put down in 2 days. It was like a Friday, and they were going to, take it to transition on Monday. And I said, will you please let me, try healing it? And by Monday, it was back eating. They were syringe feeding it. It was back, eating and drinking, and it lived to be 3 years. It lived 3 more years. I actually healed the brain tumor. And how I healed that and how I do healing is you don't ever claim the illness. See yourself or the animal as well, and eat properly. And for a human, you have to have a good diet, and you have to never claim that illness. And you, with your own mind, great mindset, you can heal yourself.
My brother Dawood, he's with us. He's prayers up for all the animals. Dawood started the Truth Table with me. He was on the first couple of episodes with me, and we prayed on the show. I invited him, so I don't know if he's gonna. He may have to fix his hair or get the soup out of his beard. I'm sure it's smoky in his house with all the sage going. No demons in that house, I'll tell you.
I like that, Sage, so he could join us.
Yeah, well, he may not because he's a humble man. He's humble.
But really, with the proper diet and the right mindset,
right.
Don't ever claim the illness. Say if you have a brain tumor, don't ever. What you want to do is see yourself not having a brain tumor, and by changing your mindset, you can heal yourself. And this is how I heal animals.
And my mission has been to reveal these things, the truth. Even about prayer. I've talked about prayer. The natives are praying correctly, in my opinion, because they're saying Creator. They're being specific. In Genesis, it says the sons of God. So you can't use the word God because that could refer to any of them. So to be specific, you say Creator. Yeah.
Back to the Native American ways. I actually see the future as us all going back to the Native American ways.
Yes, I think so. The Rainbow Warriors, the Hopi predictions, prophecies. Yeah, I'm Micmac, so I'm more East Coast Canada, but I'm worried for all the white people. I see that there's a war worldwide, like everywhere in Europe and in Syria. They're killing the Christians, and you know, uh, I feel very sad. Trump says he's a Christian, but he bombed Iran, so and he's for the death penalty, and that's like the fourth commandment. Don't murder. So he cannot claim to be a Christian and violate that one of the commandments. You just can't do it. I'm sorry. You can't promote war. You can't profit from war and death and murder. That's not helping your friends. That's hurting your fellow man,
Yeah.
and that's never okay. And they've been
I,
doing it for so long. I'm so sick of it. Half the population of Gaza was children, and that's unacceptable. That's like kicking a dog, and hurting an animal. It's just these are just innocent, full of love, innocent, living creatures from God. I mean, my God, I it's hard
I,
for me. It must be hard for you too. Any empath. It's these things are not easy for us. But that's why I'm here. I'm willing to risk everything for the truth because, you know, I just feel like, God tells us to do that, to not just sit on the truth, but to expose it. And I will. Yeah, until they may silence me, they may silence you, but
they've
our message is archived forever.
they've tried that by shutting my business down.
Yep.
Uh, but yeah, I think the biggest threat, to be truthful, personally, is the 5G satellite and the chemtrails. Uh, and of course, it was the vaccine too. Uh, but as of right now, it is the chemtrails and the cloud seeding
Yes.
and the satellite. And those cloud seedings, they are being done as flash floods in areas that they don't have time to respond. They don't even take it serious. They haven't ever had floods there. They
They
don't
just
even
wanna
take it serious.
claim the land. They just
That's
want to get.
that's right.
Yep.
They want all the large animals gone. So
Yep.
because they want to control the food. So they want all the farms gone. They want the farmers gone. They want to destroy everything so they can control the food. And I know this is what's happening with it happened here about 20 minutes away. We've never had a flood. And once again, it's always a flash flood.
Yep.
People don't take it serious and it happens real quick.
Yep.
And it wipes out all the farm ground, the large animals, the barns, the houses, and everything.
Yeah. Yep. It's just another crime to add on to the other crimes. And I don't think it's Trump. I think Trump, he surrounded himself with Zionists. Like Zionists is not Judaism. They're not Jews. They call themselves Jews, but they're like the fake Jews. They're the synagogue of Satan. They don't believe in God. They don't follow God. They don't follow Judaism. They wouldn't be bombing Gaza. They wouldn't be using snipers to shoot children in the head. And I've seen it over and over again, and it's devastating because it's deliberate. And these are innocent children. It's not acceptable. Trump supporting it shows where his loyalty is, and that's sad for me because he had the power to fix everything. He could have fixed it. He's a great businessman. He could have, a lot of people have believed in him, but I knew all along. I did. I knew. To me, he's like Daniel's. He's the little trumpet. He's um,
He is
the
being controlled
little
by
the
somebody.
little horn of Daniel, promising peace, a 7 year, a 7 year uh, contract, the Abraham Accord, 7 years of peace. And I
The,
didn't
pro-
see a lot of peace.
the problem I have is I know who's guilty of this, and I'm not going to say it on here, of course, but I know exact people who's guilty of this.
Mhm.
Not only the companies, but the exact people. And like Senator Kennedy, he brings out like with the chemtrails and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, but nothing ever he said he'll have it investigated. Well, it's serious stuff. Something needs to be done. And, a lot of people are awakening now. Everybody knows what's happening. Now, if we know what's happening, you would surely think the people within our government knows what's happening. So why isn't anything being done?
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, to me, a lot of it's just common sense. I could fix the education system easy and have kids graduating high school with apprenticeships ready for work right away. And whatever's required, whatever's needed, whatever there's a shortage, we would promote that, whether it be doctors and also get, homeopathic medicine back, all the ancient knowledge from the native Canadians. I mean, they know how to use the plants here. They know how they work.
Yeah.
And incorporate that into medicine, into medical school. We have to get rid of these non-cures. They don't
Yeah.
cure anything. But that's another big enemy. You go against them, they'll kill you. The
And that's
pharmaceutical industry is, I risk my life for this show. I really do. Same with the Vatican. When
yeah,
I showed my translations on one of my shows, I showed, what it really says. I showed what the translations were, what the options were. And I showed that they changed it. Now that's King James. King James killed his own mother. I mean, a lot of people don't understand. He was not a good man. He changed the Bible. So anyway, I'm really on a roll today. I'm hardly letting you talk at all. I'm so sorry. I don't
I like
usually rant.
I like it that way.
Well, yeah. Well, thank you for your kindness. I expect no less from an empath. Because
That's good.
you know how I feel, and
I'll
know how
just
you
add,
feel. Yeah, and we're kind of in the same boat, going the same way. We're on our way to Kirk Reese's house or his boat. Oh my God, the poor Kirk. See, but Kirk's story also reminds me of why it's just more examples of what I feel as an empath, how I feel, spiritually. Um, I spiritually feel we had a coup d'etat. We don't have an election. It's all fake. They're lying. The news is telling us who to vote for, basically. Who's doing great. The polls are lying to us, giving us false numbers and false. They're mind controlling us, for God's sakes, with the polls and the media.
well, with the 5G, this is
It's going to get worse.
upper electric magnetic field strong enough that they can actually mind control, brain stimulate is what it's called, your animals and humanity. Uh,
Yes.
and what they had in mind for that is artificial intelligence. And so they can come right into your home
Yep.
and your children, you, anybody up, right to brain to the computer now, right
Yep.
through the electric magnetic field. And they're already doing it. They've been doing it since 2021. They are brain stimulating the animals and controlling their brains. They have done it to somebody real close that lives with me here in my house. It's called stealing your identity. And they hook your brain right up to the computer. And they like block your own thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And
Yeah, an mRNA is an operating system that self-replicates. It's obviously intelligent if it can remake itself. It's powered by the light of the firefly, which they added. That's the power source. And man, yeah, I've been researching this a lot too for a long time. This has been going on for a long time. In the 50s, they changed music and they started removing bells because it allowed us to heal ourselves naturally. So it was all been a spiritual war, 100%. But we're not going to let them, do it without letting everyone know, you know, because generally I like to show the evidence when I say something, but I think a lot of what we're saying today is common knowledge. Even though they're spraying us, they're saying, they're collecting carbon tax, so we fund it. We're funding our own demise, our own prison. and they're
Yeah.
blaming, trying to make us feel guilty for the problem when they're spraying in the sky. They're causing the problem and then blaming you for it and then stealing your money to fix the problem they create. It's just absolutely so criminal and openly criminal to me. I don't understand why we have no agencies to remedy. I want remedy. I want raw milk back.
Yeah, the dairy farmer itself, like when I was a dairy farmer, we wasn't even supposed to be drinking our own milk.
Yeah.
So you had to sign a contract that you wouldn't even drink. But of course, nobody listens to that. But you weren't even allowed to sell your own milk or drink your own milk. You weren't supposed to.
Which doesn't make any sense. You have to, like, every chef has to, take samples that their food. Just as a milk farmer would need to sample and make sure that their food, the milk is good. It's nonsensical. It's so
Yeah, I had
Orwellian what they've
all
done to milk farmers.
when the milk truck driver comes and picks it up, it does go through all kinds of tests to make sure the milk is good before it's allowed to put on the shelf. So really, when it says like antibiotic free, it is already tested for antibiotics, but
Hmm.
there's no way it can get through. At least there shouldn't be anyway, unless the processor ain't doing its job.
Well, I've done a show about the cartel of the dairy cartel with Maxime Bernier. We talked about it, and he doesn't like it either. But I don't like that. Raw milk is just banned. It's truly a violation of all things natural and godly, like everything, even the GMO corn. I mean, stop.
Right. See, I'm more for the dairy cow itself because I'm able to understand animals and know what they're saying and speaking. And the animals really want a whole lot more rights than they're getting on these dairy farms. So they want a whole lot more freedoms than what they have.
Hmm.
And like
Just
most of large corporate farms, they don't ever. Cows are grazers. Uh, Cows are grazers. They're natural grazers. They don't even get outside. And there's
really.
like yeah, they're piled right. You might have on these large corporates, I don't know, 3,000-4,000, and they are just shoved in there and never allowed to go out and graze. Now that
That's
a cow.
based on greed.
So my husband and I at that time bought some of those cows, and of course we would put our cows out as often as possible and just bring them in to milk them and then put them back out to graze.
Mm,
When I was a dairy farmer, these cows didn't even know how to graze because they were never off concrete.
that's so sad. Yeah, that's unacceptable. I don't like factory farming situations. I understand the government says, "Oh, okay, we need this many chickens and we need that much milk," and they smash the numbers together on a piece of paper, and then they invent this inhumane prison for the animal so they can make quota. Yet they're telling milk farmers to throw out milk. They only allowed to sell this much.
Yeah,
That's not normal.
there's too
That,
much milk and cheese out there. When I was a dairy farmer, there was way too much milk and cheese.
hmm,
And what it does then, the only person, as far as the dairy farmer, they are like starving really, because it's the person that sits in the middle.
that makes
This
them
is
money.
money, yeah.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Do you have hope for the future? Do you think we're going to be able to fix all of this?
What do I think will happen? Down the road, I think it'll be like India. I think you're actually all going to go back to the animals being free, the dairy cow being free. And I also believe that all of us will be doing natural healing because I think that everybody after the vaccine is going to tell Big Pharma and everybody to pretty much, take a hike. Speaking
Hmm.
of, take a hike
Yeah,
and
us. They lied.
I
You
see
can't
this more.
deny it.
I see this more and more every day, and I do believe that is the future. I believe that big companies, like you might like people shop Amazon or whatever, will go by the wayside. I believe that we're going back to the small communities like the mall paw shops,
Hmm.
and that's how it'll be like how we used to have like uh, the small like hardware shops is the word I want to say. You had
Hmm.
everything in town, like everything you needed: the dress shops, the men's shops, the women's shops, whatever. I do believe that in the future, because of what's happening now in our government, that they don't seem to want to help uh, the people. That the people is going to rise up and tell all these large corporations and stuff that seems to think they are going to control the world. We've had enough of you. We've had enough of your vaccines, and now we're going to do what we want to do.
We want healthy food again. We want to get these 17-letter ingredients that no one understands out of the food. They're even using Latin. They're changing the names to Latin to confuse us more. It's absolutely despicable. You know what's crazy is the Vatican, Rothschilds, Bill Gates, all of these, people, the Vatican, Rothschilds, they could create, they could end all of this, you know, all the suffering. It's like they love it. They just love hurting God's children. They
Yeah,
just, and what, meanwhile, they could give us a utopia, a renaissance, you know? We need
I
community. We need like a Amish. We need to become Amish, where we're small. We all help each other. We build a farm together. We pray with our children. We you know we eat together as family. We have strong values, and we teach that. That's the way it's supposed to be.
let's see. I
I can't wait for it to happen.
people's going to disagree with me on this, but I actually see technology going backwards.
Yeah, deliberately, I think it is. It is being used as a weapon instead of utopia. Like
You
the
see,
LED lights didn't save anybody money. They are invasive. They are military tech. They can look and see you in the building, in your house, and they can hear you. And like all these technologies, smart anything, smartphone, smart TV, smartwatch, you name it. Anything with smart on it is military tech. It's spying on you. It's hurting you. And the mRNA is a digital way for them to, go from the cloud and send and receive and find out about your health. That's what they're going to start selling it as. If you have diabetes, the AI can send insulin to your body through signals online without any medical treatment or anything, and get your body to do that. You will be happy and own nothing. It is that technology. They will be able to control your emotion.
basically, if you listen to Bill Gates, there won't be any need for anybody really to work except who's ever helping with the AI. So they'll get rid of the doctors and the nurses and the
Yeah,
school teachers.
Elon says that too. The solution is AI.
And to me, that is the most evilest thing, along with this 5G and the chemtrails.
Well, the AI is promoting vaccines, so it can be controlled. It is, it might have be able to gather all the information, but it is, it can be directed towards the rulers, what the rulers want. So this is a dystopian system. The New World Order wasn't about improving lives or, bringing people closer to God or to each other, but to actually, hurt people. And that's not a crime. That's not hate speech. See, I love my enemy, and people can accuse me of hate speech, as the lefties would love to do, but I love the lefties too. I see everyone as divine, even animals as divine souls, living souls, creations. And God didn't waste a creation. God didn't waste a light on anyone.
That's
Even
right.
the firefly has a light.
Yes. Bring back the flies.
And
And
Dawood prays every day.
fireflies.
And our friend Dawood, he prayed on my show, and he prays every day, and he's trying to send that out, that what you're doing and I'm doing, trying to send out love and as much information as we can share. A lot of what we have to say, like the 5G and all the technology, is so dark and so negative. But darkness is just the absence of light. So this is the light part. This is what we're doing. We're putting light on the darkness. They can stop me from talking all they want. It's that's fine. I'm willing. I want to do what God wants. And God compelled me and put me here and put you there.
That's exactly what, they have had my business pretty much shut down since 2022. Um, and I just, I said, uh, I am handing it all over to you, God, because I
Because
don't
I don't know what to do.
know what to do. This is what I'm good at. This is what I love to do. I know this is what you
Mhm.
want me to do. And I know
Yeah.
you want me out there for the animals. Uh,
Yeah.
so
For
I
sure.
am it all up to you.
The animals matter too. They really do. All of them. They all have a purpose. Believe it or not.
Yep, they do. And actually, they know their purpose.
Yeah. They, because they haven't been lied to. I mean, all the religions, what I've found out is they're all like removing God from people, teaching them how to pray incorrectly. So they're actually insulting God by praying to Muhammad and Jesus and Mary and Joseph. These are all like insults to God. I don't even like saying God. I like saying creator because it's very specific, because there were gods, the Sumerian gods. So when you say God, it could mean any of them, so it's very, it's not accurate enough, and even though Jesus was God incarnate here, his purpose was the message, his teachings, his parables. That's why he was here. You know, there's a judgment day. He didn't die for sins if there's a judgment day. There, so that's a lie. They're lying to people. Oh, you go to Jesus and he is God. No, he sits at the right hand of the Father. Matthew 7:22 to 23. He says, don't use my name. Pray to my Father.
That's right.
And yeah, yeah. And I've even joined church groups, a men's group. I stopped going, but these are the things, because these are pastors and priests, and they all have congregations. And I wanted to bring these things to their attention. Once they know, they can't unknow it, because I can show you where it is in the Bible that you purport to represent. And if you're going to represent it, you have to empower your congregation to learn how to pray right to God, because God is right inside of you. And if you insult your God, you're insulting yourself as well. I'm sorry, I'm talking more than you. I'm such a bad host. I
Now,
knew it was going to happen, Kim. I just knew it.
another reason why I decided I was just going to come out is because I was giving that Bible verse in Psalms that if you don't speak your truths of what's happening, you're actually helping join the evil. So,
Hmm. And evil is just the absence of God. Like
right,
darkness is the absence of light. And, that's all. That's what Zionist is. Zionism is the absence of God, because they fight with everybody. They were created in the 60s, and now they hate everybody around them. Even though everybody was getting along great before they were created, it was like created to cause problems. And we've been helping them all along. So our hands are full of blood that we never chose to. They lied to us and put blood on our money and our efforts and our labor. It's disgusting. These are things we would have never done. We would have never consented. We would have never consented to it. We would have never eliminated homeopathic and natural remedies and cures and natural medicines through healthy food. I mean, it's right there. God gave us everything we need.
That's right here on His creation. I always tell people God would never just like drop us off here, so to speak, without giving us everything that we need to help ourselves and to heal ourselves.
Yeah, thank you, Brian and Dawid and Beth, for joining us. Yeah, the white race has to unite. This is true because they are under attack everywhere. UK, Europe, even Syria, that we're supposed to be okay with. We destroyed Iran in 1953, overthrew elected officials, and put in a Shah, which made a dystopia there, a hell on earth. They used to dress like us, and then they went to burqas, a total enslavement. So we were a part of that. Our hands are dirty, And there were 8 presidents before George Washington. They don't teach that in school.
Right.
They lie about everything, and it's going to stop. And we're here to serve mankind, God's people, our brothers and sisters. All of us, we all have a part, and you can have a part too. But we do have to unite. We have to do it with love. We can't be angry like the leftists. They're just so angry and raging and hateful. That isn't who we are. That isn't what we represent. We're not going to tell you to hurt anybody, and we certainly don't want animals to hurt either.
Right. That's right. And
yeah.
they have to have a voice of what's happening to them. I worry about that dairy cow and all large animals because I kind of know what they have in mind, and that is to control the food.
100%. So, how does it work when you speak to the animals? When you communicate, I know you said it was more telepathic, but do they move towards you? And is there a physical response other than just the eye contact?
Actually, I do all my work long distance, so I never touch the animal.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so I do everything long distance, so I can heal from here, and the animal receives the healing wherever they're at, and all you have to do is like set the intention and ask them if you can do the Reiki, because just like people, they can say yes or no, and you're supposed to give the animal the respect like a person. You should never touch an animal really without asking them.
Yeah, even the natives, we will drop tobacco and pray and ask permission for the life of the animal. We don't just kill, aim, and fire. We pray, and if the animal's not there when we finish praying, then we don't kill it. We're asking permission for its life, kind of thing. Even though I personally could never kill an animal, I don't have it in me. Some people can. I would never be a butcher. Even I could not do that. But is there any way for people to connect with you online through a website where they can, if they're worried about their own animals, their dogs, and how they are suffering, perhaps?
I did have that all set up through. I was doing all my business.
Reiki.
Yeah, Reiki. Reiki. Yeah, the communications, because I can speak to them telepathically, in person and long distance, wherever they are.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and I've done behavior, which I have helped animals that were kicking no longer kick, like horses charging, horses bucking. I have, helped them not to buck. I healed that brain tumor in that chihuahua that had a brain tumor and they were going to transition it. I actually shrunk it down and it didn't have a brain tumor no more, and it went on to live 3 more years. Uh, I have reversed illnesses by using Reiki. And trying to think of everything I did. Just even like walking on a leash, I can do that long distance, talking to the animal. Um, and I can bring any messages that the animal has to their owner.
So is there a way for anyone concerned to contact you? Do you want them to know your Facebook or?
If they would, yes. That's the I had a good Reiki business going. I was making actually a pretty decent living right through using Facebook. But then when I got targeted in 2021, 2022, they shut that completely down. And they have like my
they can message you here.
They have like my email shut down. They have YouTube or Yahoo. They have they have my whole phone. You might as well say controlling it. They can stop calls from coming in and everything.
Doesn't make any sense to me, Why? I can see them. I can see them coming after me for my big mouth because it's big. I mean, going against the Vatican, that was a tough one. And then I go against all of them. I just call them out. That's the only thing we can do.
It was all because I knew something about the vaccine at that time before everybody else did.
Oh.
And I before anybody else did, and me being stupid, so to say, I sent it through Facebook Messenger, and all that stuff, gets looked at and gets sent over to one of those other companies that is tied to Facebook.
Damn. Oh, I'm guessing. Can you still hear me when I'm not on the camera? Because I was still there. You're in the States too, aren't you?
Yeah, New York.
New York. So you're not far from me. I'm in Niagara Falls, Ontario, and you're Niagara Falls, New York is great. Like 5-minute walk.
Hours away from me.
Something with your connection. I think they're mad at you right now. I'm hearing some noises.
Didn't want me to say that, but I didn't say. I could have said a whole lot, but they shut me off when I speak. So even on my lives, they shut me off.
Well, with not being, endangering yourself like I do, you can if you like. But is there anything that you want to say that you can say? Perhaps that can help others understand what's going on.
What's going on with me? Or with
you and all of us, really. But you, sure. Whatever you can tell or want to share, because this will be archived all over the place. So the information will be there.
People really needs to understand what a targeted individual is. I would like people to understand also what a targeted individual is, as in the United States right now. It is like 2 million. It had grown since 2020. And a lot of that did have to do with the vaccine. Because people that didn't take the vaccine got targeted. And if they did that, you got targeted. And what happens is they direct a high-powered energy weapon on you. You have drones that follow you everywhere. And that is basically what killed a lot of my animals, was the drones that have a laser. They'll do anything to try to keep you silent and shut you up.
Hmm.
But there
Wow.
is too, like I said, it went way up in 2020. Uh, these people are tortured in their home. They are burned. They are shocked. Their animals are burned. They are shocked. Uh, they can use those energy weapons on ways that you don't even want me to discuss here, on men, women, and
Yeah.
I have
I
posted times, and they try to mind control you, basically. Hook your
yeah
brain to computer and brain to brain.
yeah I w- I hate to say it, but my function is to their benefit, and I hate that because of telling the truth, revealing things. Essentially am a gatekeeper. That's what you call a gatekeeper. Like Alex Jones is like a gatekeeper, but he will tell parts of truth and add a little bit of a lie. That's what a gatekeeper does. I don't do that, but I'm serving them by revealing the truth. You know what I mean? It empowers their sorcery by revealing, like, they do it in different ways, but it's just a part of their evil sorcery crap.
What's bad about it is there's become so many and nothing's being done to help these people, and it will eventually kill you.
Yeah, well, that's what I I don't expect a long life. I don't. I knew that coming in. I knew I was risking it all, my freedom and my future by revealing, like, right from the beginning, like the first shows. I've been doing it for a year. I'm just surprised I'm still here. I'm glad I'm still here because obviously I must have some kind of protection. Um, but I also know that I indirectly, unwillingly, um, help them, and I don't like to help them. I like to help mankind. You know, it says Ephesians 5, chapter 5, verse 11, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them. It's right there, Ephesians 5:11, and that's what
I
we do.
felt that God was telling me that I should let people know what was happening with the animals and also with me. Uh,
But God, God commands it. We're being faithful to our Creator. You know, we're not going to. I'm not going to stop until they stop me. I expect them to stop me. I look over my shoulder, and it's sad that that's where we are today. But I know I said too much already. But there's no point in hiding. There's no point in hiding the fact that Katy Perry kissed another girl. It's okay to smile. It's okay to laugh, and we really need to because it's heartbreaking. You um, is there any way that people can help you? Do you think there's a way? Can they participate in what you're doing, or any kind of help?
yes, I need to get my word out further. This is very difficult because I have tried to do that and they have me so shut down everywhere. I mean, not even how they're punishing me, so to speak, is shutting down my business, and how what I enjoyed doing was helping the animals. And believe it or not, they can control everybody around you if they want to.
Mhm. And Brian, thanks so much for the questions. You're in New York City, right? Or you near, or just New York State somewhere? I don't have to give your address or anything. But I said New York. Someone asked where you are, and
I am in Western New York.
Western New York.
Yeah.
And Jesse is also another question. Jesse, I have talked to him, and I did invite him another show, and along with Barrett, my last guest, tuning in. So we're gonna have try to bless people. I try to have positive show. It's definitely with Dawud. He definitely helped with his prayer, uh, his ability to pray deeply and effectively. I just love that. I love participating in someone who knows how to pray effectively, who reaches the Creator, doesn't pray to other people, and we're not supposed to do. No graven images. We're not supposed to have Jesus on the cross. Anything that's in heaven, you can't display or put on your body. Even if you have someone who died in your family, getting a tattoo of them is forbidden. You're not supposed to do that. I'm guessing it defiles the divinity of our body because God is part of it, and all around it, and inside it, and very participatory. And we're victims. We're been genetic. I mean, Genesis is us being genetically modified. We were genetically modified to look like our violators. We were violated. They changed us. We were fine. God doesn't make junk. It didn't
That's
need to
right.
be fixed or modified. So the sin started right from the beginning.
Yep.
Intervention. And they were called sons of God, and they had babies with us and ruined everything because they didn't have any self control. They were like bad gods, They couldn't control their sexual urges and morality. They decided to, have sex with their creations. They liked them so much. But that's why I think religion and prayer is so important because the truth is hard, very difficult when you find out the truth. Like these 5G towers have nothing to do with self. And people need to understand when they see them. It doesn't mean we need to start cutting them down like the cameras. But it's all, even the cameras are all. We need to go locally, like, deal with your local council on the local level and put your foot down and say no more. You have betrayed your oath. You betrayed your people who voted for you. We want morality back. We want the rainbow in the sky where it belongs, not on sidewalks. That's an insult to God because that was the only symbol that God gave us, was rainbow. You
Yeah.
can't associate that with any sexual act outside of man and woman. God's purpose for us. If you want to go outside of that, that's fine, but you don't get to take the rainbow. That is an abomination. That is anti-God. That is dark. That's where evil is. Evil is God is absent, and people behind these things are absent of God because it's not natural for us to say, oh, let's put a rainbow. Why would you insult God like that? That's a symbol from God, and to walk on it, spit on it, and thrive over it is just an abomination to anyone with any kind of faith. So we know there's war on faith. There's a war on God's word. There's a war on God's children, and we're aware of it.
I
And we're
agree with
fulfilling our purpose in Ephesians 7:11. We're fulfilling that by just bringing it forward, praying that God will protect all who hear and anyone who needs the message for them to be blessed by it and empowered by it and share it with other people and confirm everything you say. I mean, I will show the scripture. I'm not just, I'm not just going to spark out scriptures. I want to show you that it's real. It's right there. And, I think it's important or I wouldn't bring it up. I'm not going to talk about the entire Bible because compiled. It really has. It's a beautiful book. I love it. But it's 3 times in there it says not to edit, not to add, not to take away, and that happened. So the people in charge of printing the Bible have violated it over the English version, the translations, and this version and that version. Those are all violating what it's purporting to represent, authenticity. I want to go right to the carved stone and have it retranslated word for word and never changed. People didn't lie when they were carving the stone. It takes way too much effort to fib on your carving stone. I have more faith in the stones. There was more truth when we had 430 megahertz music. Before Iran in 1953, Canada was a beautiful country with beautiful people that are still here and they're locked in a cage.
Yeah.
They're being blamed for the cage. Climate alarmism. And it was, they replaced the flu with COVID and created this firehouse of panic and fear, social engineering from hell, hurt children, making them wear these masks all day, restricting the oxygen that they're getting and making them re-breathe carbon dioxide, bringing out an absolute crime against humanity. And the fact that no one got arrested shows that we have no one. And I'm sorry to say that, but we don't. No, prayer will not fix this. Mankind wasn't put here to let Jesus fix it or, let Muhammad fix it. That's not how it works. We were put here to be a victim. You weren't put here to be a martyr. You were put here to work for each other, for your fellow man. You just got to find where your purpose is. We all have purpose. Even if you don't think that you have any value, you do. You really, really do.
I agree. I think we're heading back to freedoms. I mean, I really think that everybody's going to wake up and say we had enough of our freedoms being taken. And no matter where you're from and what government you're from, I think we are going to go back to small.
You got
Community, each other.
Can you check are you plugged into a microphone or?
They're doing the same. They've been doing that to you too.
Oh, yeah, it's like staticking a bit.
Me too.
Oh, and how long would you say? You said like a couple of years they've been targeting you, right? Like since 2000.
Okay, since 2022.
2022, yeah. Makes sense. I don't understand why they haven't come after me. I really don't. I really don't. I know.
Just like minding my own business here in the woods. I always say I was just an old lady minding my business here in the woods, and I was just doing animal reiki business, and never did anything wrong, and I just happened to put that comment over to my son of what I knew, and it got me in trouble.
Well, I hope that I have my faith is so strong. I just know that the right people are going to see the right thing, and with all my shows, a lot of Lynn did a show on Lynn because it didn't make sense to me. Why would God say to mix linen and wool? I don't know why. So it makes sense now because when you put wool and linen together, the megahertz goes down to 0. Meanwhile, they are the highest ones. Like polyester, our body is 100 megahertz. The body is 15 megahertz. And rayon is 15. Polyester is 15. All these things, clothing, the materials mixed keep us down. But if you wear all linen, like Jesus was covered in linen, and their tunics were in one piece, and those are 5,000 megahertz, the highest. And both and linen, the only ones that are 5,000. They're both 5,000. So that's why they that's why they were in the Bible, because of the value of how it brings your whole, uh, inside outside. It's like it works with God, but it's like 5,000. So it's like through the roof. It lifts you up. So it made more sense. 'Cause it's in the Bible twice. It didn't make any sense. But now it does. It does. And I'm excited. I love finding things like that, because it doesn't make sense. There's a reason you have to seek and find. You have to dig in. And I found a lady who had built a machine that measured megahertz of plants. Sick body. So the only thing that is 100 is organic cotton. Organic cotton is like 100, just like a healthy body. But the only things that are above that is cotton or linen. So I did a show on just that. I showed the scripture. I showed the 3 places where it said it, because I like to show people. It saves them from having to read the whole book. So I just put what's really important to me, what's profound, and shared that to save people time and get the good part. And find out why. That's why they don't have linen very much. Like I had to order it. You can get it. The flaxseed is beautiful. The linen comes from it's my favorite color. It's like sky blue, like our background right now. It's a beautiful plant, and it makes 5,000 mega clothing. So how exciting is that? I have an absolute 100% full outfit, underwear, pants, and shirt, all linen. So I didn't really notice the difference. I'll be honest with you, but I just know, like psychologically, I know it's 5,000. So, it's nice to learn things like that, and I would love to see our clothing starting to revert to this and go back to where it benefits us. I want to get balance back so we can align our chakras and function the way God intended us to. Right now, we're all injured. We're all injured people. I think we're okay. It's just go through every day. The tired, the pain, the aches and pains, and it's all engineered. It's not normal.
That's right.
So I want to thank you for coming on the show. They don't want you to talk, eh? It's obviously they're like you should hear the noise that they're doing. But that said, I want to thank you for coming on the show though and sharing a little bit of your story, and
It was
that people can find your book.
Yeah.
On Amazon or
It's on Amazon. It's no longer on anywhere because I had to re-sign a contract, and they have me so shut down that I'm just getting by with my finances. So it's not out anywhere. I did have Amazon, yes.
if you get it all going, let me know, and I'll just do another show, and I will bring you back and connect everyone to you. And just checking though, you're not suicidal, right? I'm not suicidal.
No, I was never suicidal.
Yeah. Well, on behalf of the animals, thank you.
What?
I'm sure they thank you. I think that's really special that your communication, you're able to heal animals. That's a gift from God. It really is. And I would like to see that being utilized, not being attacked, And I'm sure it can extend even past animals. I'm sure, as long as you don't interference, you might have to go like one-on-one with people and animals. If they're going to be sending frequencies through your internet, they can use the technology to harm us, right?
They are really shutting you off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we'll finish, and I will bring Kim back. Thank you all at home for joining us, and share it with anyone, animal lovers, and I will update this story with where to find her book, and if there's any way to help or connect with her, if your animal needs healing, and we're not done. We're not done. So thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Paul.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever.